Hello everyone and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the beautiful sign of Aquarius for the November 2021 time period. I hope all my Aquarius friends are doing wonderful. As you know, this is a general reading, so there will be parts that do not resonate with you. Only take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest for someone else. I've already meditated on the cards, I've already shuffled the cards, and this is a spread that I have for you today, dear Aquarius. In the past position, we do have the major arcana card, the High Priestess, clarified by the Five of Cups. In the challenging position, we have the Seven of Swords, clarified by the Ace of Swords. In the present position, we have the Hermit, clarified by the Two of Pentacles. And in the future outcome position, we do have the Four of Wands, wonderful card, clarified by the Two of Swords. Very, very interesting. So let's start from the beginning. In the past position, we do have the High Priestess. This is a very, very powerful card. It does seem to me like in the month of November there's going to be a lot of duality in your life. Like there's going to be some choices, you know, do you want to pursue this or that? But the High Priestess is a very major card to have. She's extremely powerful. She has a lot of intuition. She has a lot of wisdom, knowledge that is hidden, that comes from the subconscious. We do see that she sits between these two columns. One column is black, another one is white. Again, that is that duality, the world in which we live in. You have life, you have death, you have night, you have day. You know, that is very important. You have to have both of those elements, because when you don't have the other element, then you don't have life, if you will. But the J column stands for Jugkin, which is a pillar of establishment. I'm probably not pronouncing it correct. And then the B column stands for Boaz, which is the, of course, column, the pillar of strength. So it's like you have a lot of strength that the High Priestess is bringing to you, but you also have, you know, all the traditions and all the establishment-like things that has formed your identity. And so you're making decisions based on things that already are part of you, because they've been placed there, you know, by traditions, by parents, by relatives, by everyone in your life, dear Aquarius. But generally, when you have the High Priestess make an appearance, to me it suggests that in the past you followed your intuition, especially when it comes to a specific relationship. There was definitely a change, some sort of a transformation in this relationship, and it may have definitely had like a saddening impact on you. The good thing is that you know, it is behind you. There was also something you didn't know, because we do have the crescent moon, which always brings an element of secrecy, something that is being kept from us. Things are not as they seem, if you will. And definitely you know, there was a relationship that really meant quite a lot to you, and something about it saddened you. And you know, it's still lingering in your mind. Otherwise, the Five of Cups would not come about in this reading, you know. But definitely you were very, very astute. There's someone in the divine world that's guiding you, or is trying to guide you, who's trying, someone that's trying to provide you with signs, with different messages, with different things to kind of guide you towards the direction in which you're supposed to be going. But Aquarius, you're doing everything right. You are exceptionally smart. You're one of those signs that are very, very needed, dear Aquarius. So you did follow your intuition. You did kind of turn to that inner knowledge, inner wisdom that guided you through. But definitely there's still a bit of a lingering feeling that continues to have a little bit of an effect on you as you enter the month of November when it comes to this specific relationship. But the good thing is that the Five of Cups is in the past position, dear Aquarius. Now in the challenging position, we do have the Seven of Swords, clarified by the Ace of Swords. First thing I have to tell you you already know that the swords are challenging to have. You know, the swords are a suit that always have some sort of difficulties associated with them, and there's always some sort of a cost as well. But the good thing is that the swords are represented by the air element, and air moves pretty fast. There will be a period of conflict, there will be a period of disagreement, of deceptiveness sometime in the month of November, but it's going to make you feel very reflective on something, trying to change. You're definitely going to be making some changes. But the good thing is that this period will go by fast, and try to not spend a lot of time in your head when you're thinking about different things, but try to be grounded. Try to stay in your own frame. Try to imagine that there's a cord coming out of you and going right towards the center of the earth. You know, sometimes that is a grounding technique that definitely works for people. But there's all kinds of grounding techniques that you can try and kind of emulate to help yourself feel grounded. But the Seven of Swords, when it appears in the challenging position, definitely suggests to me that there may be some deception around you, trickery, and also it could be that there's deception on both sides. It could be that you're, you know, being not so honest with someone, and that someone else is not being super honest with you. And so when you kind of keep secrets from each other, it can create a difficult environment, negative environment, toxic environment. So definitely you want to stay grounded and meditate throughout the month of November. Also, sometimes, you know, the Seven of Swords makes an appearance when we are afraid of getting in trouble, even though we've done really nothing wrong. You know, so definitely it's important to stay in your own frame and remember that the divine honors you, and so you should honor yourself. So definitely make sure to kind of stand your ground, if you will. Now, the Seven of Swords here is clarified by the Ace of Swords, which brings a lack of communication to this picture, if you will, because the swords is all about having a victory and having clarity. But when you have it in the challenging position, the communication may be a little bit strained between people. Perhaps there's someone who is supposed to be communicating with you that is not communicating, so you're not really receiving messages that you need to receive. Be also very careful which words you choose when communicating with other people, especially if that's someone with who you already have a strained relationship. You definitely want to proceed cautiously. You definitely want to make sure that you watch what you say and, you know, what you share as well. Definitely honesty is a great policy, even though it may not feel that way up front. The divine very much prefers authenticity, and it rewards authenticity as well. But at the same time, you know, if someone is making difficulties for you when it comes to communicating, you want to be cautious in communicating with them as well. There is going to be a moment of reflectiveness, of withdrawing perhaps from a certain group of people that you're going to experience in the month of November, because you do have the Hermit. The Hermit is all about retreating to a place where you can figure out, you know, if a specific situation serves you, if a specific relationship serves you. The Hermit is a great card because it allows you to experience a little bit of growth. Once that growth is experienced, then you get to enjoy the rewards, then you get to gather with family, have fun, you know, do festivities as well. But there's going to be a moment in the month of November where you're going to feel like, wait a minute, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. So definitely, you know, step aside to make sure that you've figured things out. And the Hermit is not about being in your head. The Hermit overall, the energy of the Hermit is all about wisdom and inner knowledge guiding you. It's not necessarily analytical. It is just allowing your body to figure out how you perceive a certain situation and what you need to do in order to move it in the direction that you want to go into. Because divine created you for a reason. What you feel is important. So that is definitely important to be aware of. Now, the Hermit here is clarified by the Two of Pentacles, which tells me you are going to be juggling a few things. You're going to be prioritizing some responsibilities. You are also called upon to balance yourself more, so that, make sure you spend equal time in your professional life, in your school life, in your family life. You don't want to focus too much on one thing, because then you will realize that something has fallen through the cracks. So definitely there's going to be a bit of a balancing act in the month of November, and so be aware of that. And in the future outcome position, we do have the beautiful Four of Wands. This is a very kind of important card, because it's not just a Four of Wands, it's kind of like 1111, and that is what November is going to be about. November has a specific portal on November 11th when things will be manifesting twice as fast and twice as much. And the divine here is telling you, you possess so many tools in your mental box in order to manifest things that you want to see. You are extremely sharp, Aquarius. So be aware of the date of November 11th, because on that specific date, you can manifest many different things. So you want to make sure to think about what is truly important to you, what you want to improve in your life, relationships that you want to see coming in, relationships that you want to see going out. What is truly important, because November 11th is right around the corner, and that is a very important date for you, dear Aquarius. But the Four of Wands is just a really good omen to have as well in the reading, because it's a card of feeling like you are on a strong foundation, that there are so many people around you who care about you. Sometimes people don't communicate as much, when it comes to like affection. Sometimes, people don't feel so comfortable saying, hey, I really look up to you, and, I see you as an example in this particular area of my life, or whatever, Sometimes people don't share that. Which can happen for many different reasons. But definitely the Four of Wands is an amazing card of family, of friends, of feeling accepted, of feeling like there are people in your life to whom you matter a lot. And of course it could mean actual gatherings, and maybe you're celebrating a birthday with someone, or a wedding. There's some sort of a celebration that I do see here, apart from the obvious one, of course, which is Thanksgiving. Definitely there's going to be a reason for you to smile, dear Aquarius. There is a lot to look forward to. Again, with the Temperance, which is at the bottom of the deck, the divine here reminds you, proceed forward cautiously. You have what it takes to create what you want, but test the waters a little bit. Try things at on a small scale before you go for full-fledged big scale. Try small, then go big. If things are working out in the direction that you're moving to, then go full throttle, if you will. But the Four of Wands here is clarified by the Two of Swords, which definitely tells me that there is some sort of a difficult choice, or some sort of a decision that you have to make, that you may be procrastinating on making that decision because you don't really want to rock the boat about something. This does have something to do with someone in your life, and it does look like this person used to be extremely important, but now not as much for you. Definitely you want to weigh things out, and also remember, you already know the answer, dear Aquarius. You just need to bring it to the surface, and for that you need to meditate, you need to drink plenty of water, you need to stay in your own frame, and you need to trust your own inner voice. But let's see what we can clarify with the two energy oracle cards. We have Magician in the Mirror and Appreciation. Both of these cards cards are very much screaming, manifest, manifest, manifest. The Magician is all about manifestation, creating the reality that you want to see. And appreciation, which is basically feeling gratitude, is also another way of saying that when you feel gratitude, you manifest things into your life. When you feel appreciation, you're on the right energy level, you're on the right frequency. There are two, I feel, like after all the classes I've been taking and everything, there are two most important elements I feel in our life, if you will, which is energy and frequency. You want to have the right energy inside your body, and you want to have the right frequency, in your mind, because that is how, if those two elements are correct, then you are very much tuned in, and you can manifest things, you can attract things, you can kind of influence things in a way that you want. But definitely the Magician is all about manifesting, especially like I mentioned previously on November 11th, when that portal opens. That is when things are just going to come flooding in. And of course, appreciation. It helps to feel gratitude, because when you feel gratitude, you realize how special and precious this life is, and it also helps you attract more wonderful things and into your garden, if you will. I hope you enjoyed this reading, dear Aquarius. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. I'm so appreciative that you were here, and I hope to see you again next week when I start doing December readings, which is insane. But again, thank you so much for visiting, and I'll see you next time.